All right, welcome back, everybody. When we last left off, we were left with a conundrum. Our rage was rolled up on the creature crafter. The number of creatures came out to be about 91 to 95 more. On top of the 62 he was fighting. Although he seriously damaged the 62 to a standstill. And so much so that they're able to come up with a truce. That's what I got out of the random word charts. But yeah, there's a lot more of them now. So they're going to be a bit harder for Rage to take down. He can get angry and plow through a lot of them. He doesn't have to accept the truce. We're going to see what happens here. I got 3 more boxes to go before I end this adventure. And I'd say the chaos went up to 8. Alright. Now before we start, I want to show you how much table space this takes up. First of all, I got my handy dandy poster sheet, which I got at the dollar store, and I just used marker to make grass. And split it up into like a tile. I know it looks like a perfectly mowed lawn, but that's how I did that. These are I got from another game. These poker chips from a Texas Hold'em dice game, and they work well when you're dealing with multiple enemies of the same kind. And because I don't want to do repeated tokens that much. You know, I want to have like one token representing the mass of creatures at the most. You know, unless the only time I'm doing the regular tokens is if Rage is taken on, or whatever character is taken on, just one of that kind, or there's 3 different kinds of creatures. So anyway, let me roll out. Let me show you. It's a pretty cluttered desk, but I mean, it's already taken a lot of space up with my dice bag, the cards right there. Over here I got my dice tower. It's covered up. Up here I got extra space to plop stuff when I'm not using. The dice tower. The only reason I'm really rolling right in this area is just to show you guys, so I don't have to keep going back and forth to that and do all that stuff. Over here, miscellaneous stuff. So I'm only really using this much of it, thanks to the index card. That keeps things a little bit more not as cumbersome. And these charts are the only thing that I kind of have to flip through. Once in a while, I might have to grab on my own, on my right side, my books, if I want to look something up, flip through something. But I mean, I can just kind of go through these charts here. Creature crafter, boom, 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 just flip them like that. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. It could be better, it could be worse. But, I don't have to flip through that many pages. Not really. Not with Mythic, unless there's something, like maybe with the wounds, I probably should have looked something up. But again, I wanted to just kind of roll with it, see what I can come up with on my own that made sense before I went to go look it up. Anyway, back to the adventure. That's a bit of a tangent. So that scene ended. Let's see what Rage says to the mob, and is translated to English. And again, he's not playing to his strength here, because that's one of the weaknesses, is talking to humans. And I'll show you. Weaknesses: low charisma around humans, due mostly to his limited time on Earth. And here I have a -4. So that's -4 to an acting rank. Alright, hot-tempered. Part side effect of his rage power and personality. -15 high. So I think that's -15. I'm trying to remember how I did that. -15 to his, I would say his IQ. His IQ probably would go down if he uses his rage power. So if I use my rage power to plow through these dudes, my IQ is going to go down. He's high because he's a pretty smart guy when he's not super angry. You know, -15. -15. I'm trying to think how that works. Because I can't go down too low. I could just say that I might have to work out some other way. I didn't quite know what I was doing with the negative. So much negative. Because if it's average, you know, say his, yeah, if it's high, negative, it's gonna be so incredibly low. It's like, I don't know. So I'll have to figure that out. There's some things I'm still kind of learning with the system a little bit. I mostly use Mythic for the emulation. This is kind of like the first time I'm using the system straight up as is. I mean, I've used it a little bit before, but I'm trying to get better at it here. And that's why I'm a little, iffy on some things. I'm just kind of home ruling it, throwing out what doesn't work and keeping what works, which is okay. The author tells you to do that. So there's a cost to him plowing through everybody, and that's the reduce of his IQ. Is it worth it? He's debating this. He's going to give him one final. Talk before anything happens, and he's going to say, "Look, I've got nothing to do with that man, that person that took off. I don't know. Just leave me out of it, and no harm will come to you. If you insist on trying to take me or do anything else, I will destroy you all. And that will not be pleasant for you." And he starts growling a bit. So let's see if that had an effect. So I can do two things. I can roll his charisma at a negative. Or I could just roll on the chart and see what happens here. Because I'm not asking a yes or no question. So if I'm not asking a yes or no question, I'll default to the back of the chart, the subject and action table. So here we go. See what they say. Okay, 80. Art. Oh, I think that's 100 or 0, 0, 0, 0. I'll just roll it again. All zeros is, well, I think all zeros would be 100, I think. We'll go with 100. Change, art. Art, something about art and change. Did he steal? Maybe they're talking about that guy. He stole some kind of art. Well, yeah, I got nothing to do with it. Rage has nothing to do with it. So let's see what else comes up. 78. Masses. 96. guide. Masses guide. Art. Do they want me to guide them to where he went? And this is where I could just use the regular fate chart. We're at an 8 chaos. 50-50, somewhat likely. I'd say it's somewhat likely that they want me to, or Rage to, guide them to where this supposed band leader that stole something from them. Let's see. 06. That's an exceptional yes. Because it's under, if you can see this, 18. It's a small number on the left. So you roll into that small number. Whew, something happens here on the event focus table. Let's see if it's bad or good. 74. PC positive. Okay. Okay. So I would say they're do they want me to well, he already kind of told him he went that way, you know. And so I think it's turning out good. And I'll just roll just for shits and giggles to see if there's anything else to talk about before I conclude this scene. Concluding scenes is kind of, you have to get a gut feeling for it. I think it's like 2 questions. If 2 questions are answered, that's an entire scene. I might be wrong about that, but that's how I'm kind of winging it. 51. Jealousy. 81. Excitement. That doesn't really make sense. I don't know what they'd be jealous or excited about, so I kind of drop it. So I'm going to write down, that's the scene. Looks like we're going to be avoiding any more action right now. Rage further explains. His actions. And the masses, I'll say the mob. I'll say the mob seems content for now. Also, I could be making a card that would usually be on the main sheet saying NPC threads, but I'm kind of keeping track of that in my head. I know the main thread is either trying to evade or fight these dudes, because Rage is just traveling through after he concluded a big barn adventure. So this is kind of a random little thing happening here. His motivation is just to kind of get through these people peacefully without having to kill or hurt anybody else. So I would say that's good. PC positive. So the chaos factor goes back down to 7. So now I'm going to see what they do without really doing anything. So one of the things they always have you do, you ask a question. I go, do they go on their own way? Do they leave Rage alone? You know, and 50-50. Well, they seem pretty happy. They formed a truce. I'd say it may be either 50-50 or somewhat likely. I'll make it 50-50 at 7 because of Rage's charisma. It was going to be somewhat likely, but because of his charisma, it's 75. So it was going to be 85. Now it's 75. It's still pretty good. I think you can roll under that. Oh no, 98. 98. That's a high roll. Yeah, so it went over 97. So something happens here. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but something unusual happens. On the event focus table right here, 63. PC negative. That's not good. So what's the negative thing that happens? 27. A project. 92. Vengeance. Oh boy. So they're not going away. They have a certain kind of motivation, and it has to do with vengeance. Maybe they have another motive going on that involves using people in their projects, and maybe they could see Rage as some kind of specimen that they can use as a tool for vengeance. So I'll ask. Well, I'll do a couple. I'll roll a couple more times. That's interesting. 53. Home. 69. Ruin. Maybe their home was ruined, and now they want to get vengeance somehow. So this is weird. It's a weird one. So, I'll keep rolling. I'll see if I can make sense of this. Also, I can do this. I'll do one more roll. If it doesn't make any sense, I'll use an adventure crafter card, which I haven't used in a while. 99. Ooh, it's doubles. So something happens. Anger. 18. Move. Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going. Anger, move. It's doubles. 01. A remote event. Okay. Remote events, I don't worry about too much. I note them down for something that as like a story seed that can happen later. So let's see what happens remotely. I'll write down a couple words and see if that plays into the next adventure or this one somewhere. 57. Tactics. And 96. Guide. So I'll jot that down. Remote. Tactics. Guide. So that might be a cause or some kind of thing eventually. I'm going to wrap up this video soon. So I think this is going to be a final conflict here, because anger and move, it means they're moving towards Rage. They want to take him for a certain project that they can get them to have vengeance. So this isn't. I get the feeling these aren't just like prison guards. They have ulterior motives that Rage wasn't picking up on. So this could be a group disguised as a human group disguised as prison guards, but they're really something else. It's interesting. It's interesting. So let's see what I can write with here. The mob wants rage for a special project in quotes. Their home was I'll say damaged at least, and they want vengeance. So maybe that band guy had something to do with that, which really makes me wonder: are these really humans? Because these motivations seem like somebody charading as humans, or they're disguised, they're hiding their motivations, they're in disguise to be something else that they're really not. But I did roll that they are humans. So it could be a more terrestrial, clandestine group, which it makes for some interesting story ideas. So I'm going to wrap this video up. I'm going to do one more video on this adventure, and I'm going to move this chaos all the way up to 8. So it's almost to 9. And I might just pull a card to see what happens, but it seems like they're going to attack rage or try to take rage. I'll write that on here. They move towards rage. So we're either going to have a final fight, or something's going to happen when I pick that card, which I very, very well might. Thanks for watching. Thanks for having the patience to get through this. I'm not sure. Hopefully this has kept you interested, and again, I'm still kind of learning the system a little bit more. I mostly use Mythic for emulating role-play systems, or using it as an excellent backup. As its own thing, it's fun too. I'm more used to playing Mythic with a friend of mine. Playing it solo is a little bit different, a little bit more of a learning curve. But you know, I'll keep at it, and the more I play it, the better I'll get. I'll see you in the next video. Keep solo questing.